Hello there guys. Now there is a problem with Eskom and giving people electricity. With that said, some of the community members have decided to picket outside the headquarters of Eskom because they are fed up of meat getting rotten and electricity never getting to their area. Please look at this video.
We want power. We want power. We want power. We want power. We want power.
Now, if we track back and look at the solution provided for this thing called Eskom mess, the load shedding, the president, the head of the state, decided that since, well, we are complaining about this Eskom and there is no solution towards resolving the issue, I'm going to rise up and lead this country. And by doing that, he brings a ministry that we've never heard of. He says the Minister of Electricity. Everyone was surprised. What kind of decision is that? I mean, you have Department of Energy, you have Pravin Gordhan there. Why are you creating a ministry that we've never heard of? And what solution will this guy bring? But we said, well, let's be hopeful. What if this president of ours, the good president, what if he's going to bring about change with this thing called Minister of Electricity? Well, he brought the Minister of Electricity, Hosienso, the Black King Ramohob. The Black King comes, and when he comes, he says, the first thing he does, he goes and visits one of the power stations, and he gathers the employees of Eskom and says, guys, I do not have the solution to load shedding. I am looking towards you to tell me what to do.
I have a duty. I'm not here to fold my arms and watch the suffering of people of Eskom. Watch the suffering of the people of South Africa. You are here to resolve this problem, and I'm going to resolve it with you. Why am I going to resolve it with you? Because you know better than I do. You have been here, you have grown up in this entity called Eskom, multiple power stations. Some of you have been here for an inordinate amount of years. You know the solutions to this problem. Let us make our children proud, our parents proud, and future generations by ensuring that Eskom.
And I was like, well, Lele, are we really telling ourselves that this is the kind of minister that we want? The first thing he says, you must tell me what to do. And when they hired him, they said, this guy has some engineering degrees or whatever, and this guy is going to bring about changes. Next thing we see a video of him dancing. And I was like, yeah, we are in for a ride. But ladies and gentlemen, indeed we are in for a ride. The next thing after going towards visiting the power stations, visiting all these areas, we hear of this conflict between Gwede and the Black King because it's like they're sharing these duties, and then Gwede doesn't want him to do this. He wants to be told what to do. In fact, he doesn't know what he does. It's like 2 million per year, per annum, for someone who doesn't know what am I doing. And with time going, the president having him, we ask ourselves, what is the ending solution here? And we leave them to that. But suddenly we see that he's no longer going to visit the power stations. He has done it. He's done. It's on his CV. Part of the CV when he applies for the next job in the ANC is going to say, I've been visiting like Lisufi has been doing. Now, what he does next is that he's visiting the plants where they manufacture these cars. He went to VW, he went to Toyota, he went to Nissan, and now I'm not sure, he's in KZN, I'm not sure if it's Toyota or what, but he's visiting all these other places. And the question is like, wait a minute, you are done with visiting the power plants, now you are taking another visit towards visiting these manufacturers here of cars. Is this guy the Minister of Tourism or something like that? Because he enjoys going there and giving speeches.
ESCOM will come. They've shared with us already the winter outlook forecast. Of course, it doesn't look good because the projection is that the generation or supply or demand, I'm sorry, will peak at about 4,000 megawatts. And we know that at any given time, on average, if you look at the trend, the past 3-4 months, we're generating about 26,000 megawatts. And then we are able to show you why now we're not at higher stages of load shedding. It's because we are burning diesel. We're just running the open cycle gas turbines. You'll ask the question, but you are spending money. Yes, we are spending money to protect the South African economy. The cost should not be the cost of buying diesel. The true cost is the cost of the South African economy. If you add one additional stage of load shedding or 2 or 3, so that's how you do the computation. So the long and short of it is that no, we don't anticipate any collapse.
I mean, speeches don't bring about changes. You bring about changes by doing something solid, concrete, that we can point and say, he has done this. So he's like the Secretary of Electricity now. Because South Africa is waiting for answers. And the Black King cannot provide answer. What he does, he goes there and speaks good English to the audience and tells them that, hey, we're going to make it all right. Remember, my name is the Black King. In Sperry is Hosienzo. Hey, my man. The country is crying. The solution is visiting these plants. The solution is visiting these manufacturers and say that, well, guys, we are going to solve electricity. But what are you doing? And then while we are still surprised at what is this guy doing, along comes Fikile Mbalula, the Secretary General of ANC, the number one party in South Africa. He says, guys, I promise you, by December 2023, we would have provided a solution. There will never be load shedding again. And we stay there and look like we are going to ignore this one. We're not going to give him much attention. They are trying to get votes, but let's leave him. We're going to write it down on the diary, and then when that December comes, we say, my man, what were you talking about? Because no way can ANC tell us that we have a solution while we are still going to winter. We are about to enter winter. And when we enter winter, we're probably going to go about 12, 14 hours without electricity in a day, if not more. But here we are being told that by December, it would have been solved. It shows us as South Africans that regardless of which part you come from, if we don't rise up and say enough is enough, nothing will ever. So I think we must just tell ourselves that it's upon the people of South Africa to decide whether they want to sit in the dark or they can come with a solution themselves. I don't know what kind of solution we can bring, but it doesn't help looking at the leaders who don't have the guts to lead. I mean, like, it's a party that is fighting amongst itself, and that party is supposed to lead the people of South Africa. Nothing against the ANC. I voted for it once. Because, actually, I voted when Zuma came. I'm part of the 2009 people who voted. Because what we wanted was that, hey, maybe Zuma is bringing about good changes. Look where we are now. No electricity. When you get that sound from electricity coming back, it's like it's Christmas to everybody. And we know that when it's time for electricity to go, we get sad. But we have that thing that it's going to come back after 4 hours. Until when, South Africans? Until when are we supposed to accept this thing of living in the dark? Going to sleep in the dark, waking up in the dark. People are going to work, bathing with cold water, and it's winter. And the solution is that, let me go and visit VW and see if they have released a new car. By the Black King, we are being led. But South Africans, as long as we don't say anything, we watch on TV and say, this guy is speaking good, nothing will ever be done. The less said about our leaders, the better. But for ESCOM, dead and buried. Anyway, guys, thank you for tuning into the channel. And until next time, cheers.